What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be just a short video showing you guys how to upgrade or change out the steering wheel in your Range Rover Sport L320 2010 to 2013. In my particular case, I am upgrading to a piano black steering wheel, a sport steering wheel. In fact, if you guys like the steering wheel, I will post a link below in the description. Now, keep in mind it's an eBay listing. If I can find a website for them, I will link that as well. But I just want to let you know that that link may expire just because it's eBay. Anyhow, moving forward, this should be a really quick, simple tutorial for you guys. Maybe 20 to 30 minute job, so it should be somewhat easy. They do actually provide you with the tool to remove your airbag. I made one in the last video that we had about taking the steering wheel off and diagnosing the heating element. So you don't have to worry about making one of those or buying one of those that actually comes with the steering wheel. But the first thing we want to do in moving forward is disconnect the battery and make sure that the airbag's not going to blow off at us. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so this part's pretty straightforward. You're simply going to take a 10 millimeter after you remove your cover and just loosen up the negative battery side. You're going to go ahead and loosen it up, wiggle it off, and try to push it back and out of the way. Now our battery's disconnected. We're gonna go ahead and step on the brake pedal for about 15 seconds to make sure all the energy in the battery is drained. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, next step is gonna be removing our shift pedals. If you have shift pedals on the Sport model or the Supercharged model like I do. In fact, I even have extended paddles. So you just want to torque spit. We're gonna take the two bolts, one out of each side on the backs, and we're gonna disconnect the electrical connector. So let me go ahead and get that done real quick. All right, so bolts removed. Again, now we just have to disconnect the electrical connector right there. Let me do that, and I'll do the same on the other side. All right, so now that those have been removed, we want to be able to go ahead and get this tool inside here, basically that hole. And we're reaching back for a little metal bar. I know it's going to be hard for me to focus on this. Yeah, there we go, a little flashlight. If you can see that metal bar right there. We're going to get right behind that. We're going to pull out, and we are going to push the steering wheel, or I'm sorry, the airbag forward, one on each side until the whole thing pops off. Let me get that off for you real quick. All right, guys, so it should look just like that. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get in there, but once you wiggle it in, you'll attach and you'll know that you're good to go. So again, now we're just going to go ahead and pull back on this like so, and you'll see the little clip right down there. It's kind of like a little ramp behind it just popped loose, and we should be able to go ahead and push this forward. It might take two hands to get it done, but nonetheless, you kind of get the idea. Let me do that on both sides and get this thing out. All right, just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like when we separate it. You see how the ramp looking piece is behind the metal bar now? Now both sides are loose, and this thing should pull right out. Be careful, don't yank it too hard. You got wires in there, but you'll see right there, all we got to do is disconnect the ground right here and our two quick connects for our airbags, and that'll pop right out. Now, as far as replacing the, removing the connectors is really simple. Just take some needle nose. You're going to squeeze it just like that. You're basically just going to wiggle this thing out. Again, you're simply going to wiggle out the connector by squeezing it just like this. Wiggle. Don't be hard on it. It'll come out just like so. All right, and our next step is to basically take out our center bolt here, which is a 16 millimeter. You'll be using some sort of impact. I have a cordless DeWalt. You can use whatever kind of impact you want. And then after it's removed, you're going to want to gently, left to right, pull the steering wheel back. Keeping in mind, we still have some wiring in here. So we don't want to rip anything out. We want to be careful. In fact, before we do that, we should probably remove this little white guy right here. There we go, and I think there's a red one. Yeah, there's a red one in there too. Let's get both of those out. All right. Red one and a white one, both out. Again, now we're going to remove this 16 millimeter nut or bolt, and then we're going to pull this steering wheel straight back by kind of wiggling it left to right and being gentle. All right, the bolt has been removed, and what you notice for reassembly as well is that there are markings both on the shaft and on the steering wheel that line up so you don't get this thing off. But again, you're going to be gentle, you're going to wiggle it back and forth, and it should pull right off just like that. There is our clock spring. You've seen the video on replacing it prior. Moving forward, we are going to be taking off the front controls, so the one on the right, the one on the left, and basically be switching everything over to our blank wheel, including the back plastic. So let me show you exactly how that works. All right, next step in taking off the front controls is taking a T20 Torx screwdriver. You'll be removing 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws. Now the controls are still kind of snapped in there, so you want to be careful pulling them off. You'll have to wiggle them out, but they come out fairly easy. So let me go ahead and take these screws out and pull those out. All right, so here you guys will see that the controls are removed now, both left and right side. What we're going to do now, to keep it really simple, we shouldn't have to remove this wiring. We are not going to be utilizing the heated steering wheel element in control box. The reason why, it was actually broken on my old steering wheel anyways. I was lucky enough to have already purchased a right control without the heated steering control button on it. You guys don't have to pay attention to that if you're doing the same thing, if you're going from a heated steering wheel and you're putting in one that's not, because the new one is not. I don't know that it can be, but it's not made with it anyhow. So we won't be utilizing this box. So basically the whole purplish pink wire is not going to be connected. We're going to take everything else with it though. But before we take all that wiring out, it's not really necessary. All we have to do is get this back plastic off, and it's actually pushed on by 4 clips. There's one here, 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 and here. It's as simple as just literally pushing backwards on it. You'll see how it pops right out. So once that's out, we're going to install that on the new wheel. We're going to begin building the new wheel. All right, so there is the new wheel with the back plastic and the wiring already attached to it. Next step is going to be putting on the left and the right controls, which should be simple. I'm going to plug those in right now. I'll put the 2 screws in the rear, and we'll get ready to put this thing back on the car. All right, so here is the wheel back on. I got to obviously connect electrical now. I did want to point something out though. Our new wheel does not have our dash mark like the original did. So something to keep in mind here, even though I already had it at 12 o'clock and I feel like it was perfectly straight, it could be one tiny spline off. Most vehicles have like a thicker bar in here, so you can only get the steering wheel on one way and that's it. This one does not. This one you can put it on kind of any way you want. So what I'll probably do is I will probably go ahead and bolt everything in, hook up my airbag, leave it loose, go for a drive, just to make sure it's straight before I actually clip the airbag back in and put on the shift knobs. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll start getting everything back together. All right, guys, so we got the shift pedals back on. Everything is completed now. I went again and took a test drive, and man, I tell you, this is an absolute incredible product. It feels so good. The grip, the Sport 10 and 2 right here, the luxury feel of the nice smooth piano black with the actual nubs behind it so you don't lose grip when you're driving, even on the lower part. This is a very, very nice product. I can't recommend it enough. Again, there will be a link in the description below. Definitely check that out. But that's going to be it. So if you guys appreciate the video, if you guys liked the video, if you guys found it helpful, please leave a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I try to answer them as fast and quickly as I can. So please leave those comments below. In addition to that, I'd love to see you guys come back. If you're not already subscribed, definitely do so, because we got so many good projects. Again, this was just a quick video, but we got a ton of bigger builds I'd love for you guys to check out. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, and we will see you soon.